Hey, what's up? My name is Kimberly. I am a retired educator, public school teacher after 25 years in the public school system. And what I want to do is to come on and show you how simple makeup over the age of 50 can really be. I think that a lot of us, as we transition and our skin changes through the years, we tend to be at a loss of what to do with our makeup, because what we notice is that the way that makeup sits on our face now is so much different than the way that it sat on our face before. So a couple things about me and my philosophy. That way, you know that if you want to hang out and continue watching this tutorial at all, whether it fits you, then let me just tell you my philosophy about makeup. My makeup, I love to look natural, okay? I don't want it to look cakey on my face. I really love the idea of makeup enhancing what the good Lord gave me. And also the fact that I love like a glowy skin-like type makeup. So if that is not for you, totally okay, but that's where I stand. The other thing is that I want to apply makeup in a very fast and efficient way, but so that I can still look like myself, not like somebody else. Okay, I'm also all up for trying to find easy, simple ways that I can, tips and tricks that I can use with makeup to prevent me from having to maybe get injections or, plastic surgery. What you see here is my natural 54 to be 55-year-old face right here, okay? I get facials every 6 weeks to 8 weeks. I've had a couple laser treatments, but other than that, like this is it. I have a lot of sun damage. I have wrinkles. I have dark circles under my eyes. And depending on the day, I have bags. So like I have real skin, which is what many women have. And like, this is truly how I plan on living the rest of my life out. Okay. So I want you to know where I stand so that you know that my techniques and the tricks and tips that I'm going to give you along the way are going to kind of fit into that bottleneck. Okay. But a couple other things. Number one, I'm also a makeup artist for a company called Saint Beauty. Okay. Saint is prides themselves on the fact that they use their cream products, with the exception of a couple powder products like eyeshadows and illuminators. They're all cream products, which is what pushed me to try this makeup out 3 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago, I tried this makeup, and from the first time that I used it, I'm like, holy moly, more people need to know about this in my age group. Okay, so at that time I was 51, and I knew that there were a lot of you who did not know about creams, and I was absolutely right. I started off sharing with family and friends, and they're like, what is going on, Kim? Where has this been hiding? And, it doesn't matter. You can use creams when you are young, but truly creams are a real blessing when you get older. What's so different about cream? Let me give you just a couple things. Number one, you need minimal product. Okay. It does not take very much cream. Cream does not dry down on the skin like liquids and powders do, which means it moves with your face, as opposed to, so for example, like around this area where we move all the time, where our wrinkles are, and here, creams will move with you, so that as the day goes on, you don't see creasing. But what happens with liquids and powders, so first thing in the morning, these look great, these look great, these look great. And then what happens when you look in the mirror 8 hours later, it's like, wait a minute, what has happened? It doesn't look the same because you've been moving your face. All right. And then the more texture that you get and so on and so forth, well, that just presents more of a problem. So because you need minimal product, then it doesn't crease or crack. It kind of just like blurs the fine lines. So if you, I love that you guys are letting me know where you're from. I also want to tell you first and foremost, if you're watching from over the pond, Saint is coming to the United Kingdom, to Australia, and also to Mexico over the course of the next 2024. Okay, so I'm so pumped about that for you because you've asked and they've heard you. And so I can't wait to get this makeup in your hands. If you are interested in finding out, like knowing when this is going to come, then all you have to do is comment Saint. That's SEINT. Comment Saint, and I will get you like in the know. So the minute that I find out dates and things like that, you'll get it in your email. So all you've got to do is just let me know your email address and don't bug you. I just want to keep you in the know as quick as I know, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use my Saint Cream makeup, but I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the things that have worked for me and how I take my products and place them on my face just to enhance my own natural beauty. I like to refer to my one palette makeup as my problem solving in a pan, okay? Each one of these are separate pans or tins. So you build your compact based off of your own individual needs, right? So if you love bronzer, you're gonna wanna put a bronzer in here. Certain foundation, yeah, get it in here. You love these 4 special eyeshadows for your eye color or for your skin tone, stick it in here. If you need a color corrector because you have dark circles, put it in here. Okay, so if you're the girl that had the overflowing makeup bag, you don't need that. Just got back from Florida and I packed this and I packed this and I put it in my carry-on and it went through TSA flawlessly, and that was all I had, but I had my entire face here, so it's so freeing. Let's do this, and I'm gonna walk you through as quickly as possible and as simply as possible. We're not gonna overthink this. I'm gonna look at my face and I'm gonna say, okay, Kim, where do you need product? So the first thing that I wanna do is I want to warm up my skin. And I'm going to apply warmth where the sun would typically hit me, okay? So I'm going to use a cream bronzer. This is a cream bronzer right here. You can see it. I'm going to go ahead and let me just show you very little amount. Like that was the tiniest amount, okay? We have different bronzers, but this one's called Bella. I'm going to apply it where I need warmth, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it in the letter C. So starting at the high points of my face. Now I have primed my skin. I've prepped my skin with like a primer. This one also has an SPF in it. It is by a company called Pomifera, but Supergoop makes a really good one as well with an SPF 40. I like to double up if I can on my products, okay? So good ingredients. Now, let's take a look at what's happened already. So all I've done is add warmth where I want warmth. Don't be afraid of bronzers, okay? Back in the day, I used to wear a powder bronzer and I looked orange. But there are different shades of bronzers that you won't look orange if you're getting the right shade. Let me also preface this all by saying, before I move on further, is that how do you know, I get this question a lot, how do I know what colors are for me? That's where I come in. I can color match you totally free, no obligation. All you've got to do is comment color match. You'll get a link. You fill out a form that literally takes you 30 seconds to a minute to fill out, and send me a selfie in natural light. So that's what this is. This is a natural, I'm just looking out of the window and my daughter, who she's older now, but this is my daughter's old room, looking out into my yard. This is natural light, no filters, nothing. I don't do that here. So if you don't follow me, click follow, because you're going to see lots of over 50 makeup tips, simple things that you can do. So make sure you click follow so you don't miss those. All right, so I am continuing just to warm up. And because this is a cream, it is also adding coverage. Okay, so it is like, like your foundation, kind of. So it's providing coverage. But again, if you need coverage in another area, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use my foundation and I'm gonna fill in. So if I can possibly do it, I will put one layer of makeup on. I just take my colors and I apply them where I need them. Instead of taking one color of foundation and applying it all over my face, and then layering my concealer on top of that, and then layering my blush on top of that, and then layering whatever else it is. If you want to do that, absolutely with creams you can, because they provide, you can get buildable coverage from there. So if you have one little area that needs some extra TLC, you can add in that one little area without having to cover your entire face. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and this is still bronzer, guys. This is still bronzer. So I'm making it in the form of a C. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my jawline a little bit just to add a little bit of warmth and dimension, even though that's not where the sun would typically hit me. But this is kind of like borderline contouring in the sense that I'm using a darker color in order to sculpt or shape an area that I feel I want some extra shape, and that's in the jawline. I have jowls. So you can do that too if you want. All right, so that's where I'm gonna start, and then we'll build around that. Now I'm gonna do the same thing I always do. Kim, what else do you need? Okay, so I know that I need some color correction right here, also in the corners of my eyes. So I have veiny areas. I'm really thin skinned, so the veins pop up in areas. I also have, if you look down, you can see my bags. When I'm looking straight on, you don't see them. They're not as obvious, but they are here. This area is the area that I'm going to color correct. This area, going to color correct right there and there. If you have never color corrected before, over 50 is the time to think about, I'm going to start color correcting. The bonus for color correcting over concealing is you want to try and fix the problem, not cover it up. So color correcting is going to help you fix the problem, the discoloration, and then you're going to brighten over top of it. But if I just take a lighter color and try to cover this without fixing it, it's gonna be there still. And what ends up happening with many of us is that we just continue to pile product. Oh, I can still see it. Oh, I'm gonna pile more product. Oh, I can still see it. I'm gonna pile more product. And then as the day goes on, the creasing occurs because you've applied so much product there and you're moving your face. How's it not? So I'm going to just teach you a little bit of the basics about color correction, but it's really simple. So when you take a look at what it is that you actually want to correct, I want you to look at it and say, what color is that? I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Okay. What color is that? It's actually blue. Okay. This is blue, and there might even be some purple in there, but most of the time when we see darkness in our eyes, it has blue. Okay, so if you go back to elementary art class, and if you've ever learned this, you're gonna look at the color wheel and you're gonna find blue. When you go across the color wheel, it's the complementary color or the color adjacent to it, across from it, that is actually going to be the corrector color. So that is from the orange, red, yellow family. So I'm going to use this color right here. It is like a salmon pink to color correct blue. I'm going to take this just like this. This is a color correction by a company called Amazing Cosmetics. Let me know, just comment if you want the code, because they did give me a code for, I think it's 20 or 25% off for you guys. I really love this product. I also, in my one compact, have a very similar color, okay? This is a lip and cheek color, but it is that salmon color that I'm gonna use to color correct. I love the consistency of this one. And again, look at this. Am I doing it all around? No, I am honing in on the spots and only the spots that have blue and purple in them. Now, if you think about, okay, Kim, I have a little bit darker skin, then you will want a darker version of this color. Okay, that could be like hold on, let me see if I have a darker version of that for you. They might have sent me one. I don't see it right now. No, that's another one of the one I have. There is a for dark skin and for lighter skin, even fair, there is another one of these just lighter. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and just use my fingers, and I am going to just tap. I gave it a second to be able to dry and kind of set, and I'm just going to tap in that area. Okay, can you guys already see? This one was way darker, so you'll be able to see this one. When you put that color over top of the blue, it like washes it away. Okay, now it's still a little orangey, and we're gonna put a color over that. But start thinking about color correction. And even I have this spot right here that is Amelia that I continue to pick and think that it's all going to come out, and it's not yet. I'm hoping at some point that it does. That's red, but it also, most of the time, especially if you have like a pimple that is more toward the end of like it's healing, then it also has more blue. But if you have like bright red acne, like fresh bright red acne, then color correcting it with a green or a yellow, something like that, will help to be able to correct that, and it will be less obvious than if you take your foundation and try and cover and cover and cover and cover. So just something to think about moving forward. All right, so I color corrected under my eyes. Now I'm going to say, Kim, what else do you need? Well, I need coverage right here. Okay, so I want to try and smooth a little bit of this out. And then also all along here. Now I haven't blended, so don't worry about all of this. I've just kind of placed it. But I have a lot of age and sunspots through here. And I'm not necessarily worried about covering them, because I just want to kind of blur them, if that makes sense, because I have too many. So if I sat there and covered all of them, we'd be here for hours, okay? Because I have too many. I'm going to dip in. This is a brush by Saint. These are made, our brushes are made for creams. I'm going to dab, like this is how much product I'm using. Minimal. And I'm just going to use my foundation and fill in where I need more coverage. Okay? I just want to blur it. I just want to fill in and even out my skin tone just a little bit. Feathering this in. Now, if you like more of a fuller coverage, then you would think about a brush that has more of a tight, dense nap, in which case this is the approach to cream that you would take, more like pressing it in. For me, I like a light coverage, so I like to feather, feather, feather. If you can feel this makeup, like if it looks like it's just heavy and wet, you're using too much. That's the general consensus. If I get a message from a customer saying I just feel like my hair is sticking in my face, or then you have too much on. Okay. And that really just comes, the makeup is so easy to work with and you can't mess it up. Because even if you get a little bit too much, you just blend it out. All right, because the entire time it's warming up to my skin, and which means it blends like butter. Okay, so this is just, I like to refer to it as blurring my wrinkles instead of accentuating them. Most of the time, if you feel like your wrinkles are being accentuated, then you're most likely using the wrong color or too much. But a lot of times it's the wrong color. We often feel like we're more fair than what we truly are. And if you are on the borderline between two different colors, and this doesn't matter if you go to your makeup counter, wherever in a cosmetic store, if you're between two different colors and you have mature skin, go darker. You won't regret it. You can always add a little bit more to go lighter, but I suggest that you always go darker. Make sure it blends well with your neck too, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, Kim, what do you want to do? I want to contour my nose a little bit, okay? So, it's awesome that as we get older, so many more things happen to women than what we already go through, right? And our noses get bigger and our ears get bigger. I mean, for real, geez, can we get one more thing? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to back up because it's good for you to be able to see this from a distance. I'm going to go ahead in with a smaller brush and I'm going to contour my nose. So I chose a contour in my palette because I like having one. And if I'm going out like for a night, I will contour in that same place that I used bronzer. All right, so this is the natural shadow. You can see it. I don't have any makeup there. You can see that natural shadow. I'm gonna squeeze it in even a little tighter. And I'm just gonna put a wee little bit of contour. Not a lot, just a little bit. Right down that natural, you can just see where the light is bouncing off. I don't have any makeup. That's just light that you see right there. So I'm going on each side of that light, and then I'm just going to kind of pinch that off. If you want to make yourself a little button nose, you can kind of make it rounded a little bit, but it's just a hint. It's nothing drastic. All right. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to brighten my face. So by taking a lighter color and strategically placing it, you can look wide awake, healthy, and bring light and bring certain areas of your face forward. So I'm going to do that with this color right here. This is referred to in Saint world as an accent or a brightening highlight. So Saint doesn't call them foundations, they call them highlights, which I totally love because the goal is to highlight your face, not to cover it up, okay? So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna use a wee little bit of this on my finger. I'm gonna go right down my nose. So right down the middle of my nose where I just contoured. And then I'm gonna do this area. So it's almost like I take my ring finger and I lay it right here from the corner, right down along the side of my nose. Okay. And if I let that sit for just a second, it's warming up, so it's going to blend like butter. Okay, now, sometimes if you don't have deep 11s like me going on, you can totally highlight up there. I refrain from putting them there because if you put a lighter color in an area where you have a lot of texture, it's just going to draw attention to them. Okay, and the same thing on your chin. You can totally stick a little bit of highlight there on your chin, but if you have really large pores there, refrain from doing that because it's just going to draw more attention to your pores. All right, now I'm going to take my finger and I am just going to blend that really easily. Okay, and if I want to, I can just take it on up and to my eyelids. I love the fact that you can build a compact with everything that you need. And the other thing about Saint, and we have compacts of different sizes. So if you don't need very much, then you don't have to, they're all different sizes. Say you just want a bronzer, 4 eyeshadows, and a main foundation shade. You can definitely do that too. When I color match you, I'm going to give you all the recommendations. I'm going to go ahead and send you the link with all of them in your palette, and then you can pick and choose and pull out what you don't want or substitute things that you do. The things that I do believe that you should kind of keep with is like the foundation colors, because I'm matching those for your skin tone. I also have a lot of experience with finding eyeshadows for certain eye colors and certain skin tones. Okay, so I'm going to make recommendations for you and your face and your individual needs. But you don't have to go with them. Okay, they're just recommendations. So can you guys see what happened to just placing that lighter foundation color here? So I had my main highlight, which was that these two, I actually mixed them because you can with creams. In between transitioning from lighter skin to darker skin in between seasons, you can put both your summer color and your winter color next to each other. And then as you transition, you share the love. Like you can mix a little bit of both until you're one way or the other. There's power in that. Having that flexibility right at your fingertips. And then you're not spending all that time looking through your makeup bag for what in the heck you need and wondering whether or not it's even the right color for you. All right, so now I have highlighted. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let's just add some color to my cheeks. So I have placed a couple lip and cheek colors in here that I love. This one is called Pink Lemonade. No, it's not Pink Lemonade. Hold on. I don't want to tell you wrong. Never mind. It's Pink Lemonade. Okay, this one is called Pink Lemonade. And I want to add color where I would naturally wear color. So, there's a lot of tutorials, demos. Might see people saying for mature skin, you want to place these 3 fingers or 4 fingers or from the corner of your eye up for more lift. Totally, that gives you more lift. Not going to deny that. But what happens when you're looking straight on? Then there's no color on your cheeks, right? So finding even a lighter color for the apples of your cheeks works beautifully. And then carrying that color, you can then take a darker color if you want and carry that more back and up. So these are very highly pigmented. So you saw how deep and bright this looks, but then on my face, I was able to control the amount. If I wanted to make it pinker, I could make it pinker, all right. But I don't want to do that. I just want a little bit of color. My compact lasts, each one of these tins or pans all last a different amount. Each one is around $16. So it's extremely affordable. So if I run out of my main highlight, it's just $16 to replace, and then that's good for another 4 months. It just really depends on how much makeup, but because I like to use this method where I'm just placing makeup where I need it, I hardly go through makeup. Like my foundations will last me 5 and 6 months for $16. My old routine before, I was spending $40 for one foundation color. Ew. I save so much more money now. All right. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to line my lips. So let me just share a little bit of the versatility of the makeup with you. So I'm going to use my contour and I'm going to line my lips. And I typically line right here. I never go from here to here because as we get older, our mouth starts to droop. So if you're going to line from here to here, you're going to draw attention to the droopiness. I want to plump my lips, right? And so just this little area right here I don't have very big lips. You can tell. Same with my upper lip. Now you can go a little wider on the upper lip. Let me zoom in so you guys can see what's going on. And we all naturally have this little white line. You can hardly see it. That's where I like to line. If I go too much above that, I have lip lines. I've never smoked in my life, but I have them. Okay, you see them? If I go too much above that and I place a dark color like my contour there, well, that's going to sink in, which is going to make those areas accentuated because it's kind of receding. It's going to fall down into those little wrinkles. No. So I like to just do it on that little white line, barely. All right, and then I'm going to just go ahead and take pink lemonade. I'm going to add that to my lips. If you like a bright pink, that's pink lemonade, but I'm going to add a little bit of Lovespell. And this is my favorite combo right now. So I've tamed it down a hair, and it looks more nude. Okay, again, if I want to go bold, I can go bold, but I don't have to. Let's go ahead and use a little bit of bronzer. Okay, this is the bronzer that I used to highlight, that I started with to add dimension. And I'm just going to dab brush very little in it. I'm going to use it as an eyeshadow. Okay, we have powder and cream eyeshadows. I like them both. I'm probably more partial to the powder simply because as my eyelids get more and more crepey, the creams, I'm cautious. As the day goes on, I can have those creams start to crease because my eyelids are crepey. So with powders, I apply a primer, and then I will apply a powder over top, and then go ahead and do my eyeshadow like normal. But that's the bronzer as eyeshadow. Isn't that pretty all by itself? And if I want to, I can take that contour. This is a flat-ended brush. All of our brushes are double-ended, but just so fun. I'm going to use my contour, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my eyeliner. I'll show you the eyeshadows that I have already. So I have eyeshadows on this level. So many gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Okay, and then the final step is an illuminator. And this is one of the top trends now for 2024 for mature skin. You might have thought that an illuminator was only for like the youngins, but a cream illuminator catches the light just in a little way that can add a youthful glow. So I typically smile, and I don't put it where all of the wrinkles are. I go a little bit below that, and I put it on my cheekbones. You can add it to your nose. You can add a little bit to Cupid's bow if you want. Okay, it just catches the light. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a beauty blender, and I'm going to lightly, and I mean lightly, press it in. What this is going to do is it's going to look like my skin. It's going to even out any wonky edges, okay? Wonky edges meaning I don't want like a definitive line right here. I just want a gradient line that's going to take one color to the next. Same thing right here. This is a beauty sponge by a company called Stands Out. I really love it because it doesn't need to be damp. You can use it damp or dry, okay? Love it because you can mold it to whatever position that you need. If you have a regular beauty blender like this, these are the most common kind, Make sure you run it under water, squeeze it out nice and tight in a towel before you do that. And using a dried beauty blender, I never really recommend it, simply because you're gonna pick up and remove the makeup off of your face, which defeats the purpose. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little shot of setting spray, but you don't have to. If your skin is in A1 shape, you might not have to prime or set, okay? But that depends on the skin, your skin's shape. This is it, guys. This look is so simple that I could take from day to night. It makes me feel just like a better version of me. I still look like me, but even better. So if you're interested in getting a color match, I will gladly help you. All you've got to do is comment color match. Hopefully you got the memo at the very beginning. We are going to be opening up in the United Kingdom, Australia, and Mexico in 2024, which is so exciting. Can't wait to get this makeup in your hands as well. But if you're in the United States or Canada, we can get it to you right away. All right, follow me for easy over 50 makeup tips. If it's too complicated, you're not going to see it here. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.